Our story, Part 20, when the doors opened. Before I get to the Calvary Crusade, I need to back up a little and talk about a season when God began opening doors in Salt Lake City in ways we never could have planned. In February of 2002, the Winter Olympics came to Salt Lake City. That was a huge moment for the whole city. People were coming from all over the world. Downtown Salt Lake was full of visitors, activity, music, media, and excitement. And as we watched all of that coming, we began to pray. Lord, what would you have us do? We knew we did not want to just sit back and watch the city fill up with people. We wanted to be available. We wanted to serve. We wanted to talk to people about Jesus in a way that was respectful, loving, and clear. So we went to the city and asked if we could use a corner downtown where people would be walking by. We told them we wanted to have music, do some outreach, and be a positive presence in the city. To our surprise, they gave us permission. That was a gift from God. During the Olympics, we were able to set up downtown, not far from Temple Square, and have Christian music and outreach right in the middle of everything. Bands came. People stopped. Conversations happened. We were only a couple of blocks from the temple, so naturally many visitors had questions about the LDS Church and about faith in Utah. We tried to be careful. We did not always do everything perfectly. Looking back, I can see ways I would handle some things differently today, but our heart was simple. We wanted people to know Jesus, not just win arguments, not just make a point. Jesus. And God used that outreach. People heard the gospel. Some gave their hearts to the Lord. Seeds were planted. Conversations began that only God knows the full fruit of. But something else came from that Olympic outreach that we did not expect. People from the Utah State Fair saw what we were doing with music and outreach, and they asked if we would be willing to help bring in Christian bands during the state fair. We said yes. That opened another door. For several years, we helped with Christian concerts at the fair. Bands like MercyMe, Third Day, Newsboys, Amy Grant, and others came through during that season. These were some of the major Christian artists of that time. And now they were playing in Salt Lake City, with thousands of people coming to listen. Before the concerts, I would usually introduce myself and let people know we were from Calvary Chapel. I would tell them that if they wanted to talk with someone about Jesus, we had a table set up. We had people ready to pray with them, answer questions, and give them a free Bible. It was amazing to watch what God did. One night before a concert, I was sitting on a wall near the venue when a security guard came over and told me, in a pretty firm way, that I needed to get off the wall. She was right. That was her job. But I remember she seemed very standoffish toward the Christian music and what we were doing. Then the concert started. The music was played. The gospel was shared. And when an invitation was given to receive Jesus, that same security guard gave her heart to the Lord. That is the kind of thing only God can do. A woman who started the night telling me to get off the wall ended the night stepping into new life with Jesus. We saw many stories like that during those years. People came to concerts thinking they were just going to hear music, and they ended up hearing about the love of God. Some came to faith. Some came back to church. Some stopped by the table with questions. Some left with a Bible in their hands. That season at the state fair lasted about 4 or 5 years. And then, like many seasons, it ran its course. But our heart for outreach did not go away. We still wanted to reach the city. So eventually we put together something we called the Calvary Crusade. It was a Sunday morning outreach event in downtown Salt Lake City. We brought in music and made it a larger public gathering. Margaret Becker, FFH, and Russ Taff came out, and I spoke that morning. It was another opportunity to lift up Jesus in the middle of the city God had called us to love. Looking back, that whole season was remarkable. The church was growing. People were coming. We had more than 2,000 adults attending and more than 600 children in ministry. We were on the radio. A television ministry was beginning. Doors were opening. From the outside, it probably looked like everything was going up and to the right, and in many ways it was. God was moving. People were being saved. The church was growing. The city was hearing about Jesus. But one of the things I've learned over the years is that growth does not mean you are safe from difficulty. Open doors do not mean there will be no opposition. And just because God is blessing does not mean you are not about to walk through fire. We were seeing some of the greatest open doors we had ever seen, but we were also about to enter one of the hardest seasons of my entire ministry, maybe the hardest, and I did not see it coming.